Good evening aspirants, welcome to daily newspaper analysis brought to you by Shankar IAS Academy. Today's date is 21st of April 2025. These are the four important articles we are going to discuss in this video. The first article is about new Chief Justice of India, and we are going to see about the selection process of Chief Justice of India in this discussion. The second article about grizzled giant squirrel species. Tamil Nadu government have created a sanctuary for giant squirrel species, and we are going to discuss about the basics of this giant squirrel species. The third article about the Kailash Mansarovar Yatra. We are going to discuss about this Mount Kailash and Mansarovar Lake, their geographical location and the importance of these mountain ranges. The fourth article is about UNESCO Memory of World Register. Recently, Bhagavad Gita and Natyashastra from India have been included in UNESCO's Memory of World Register. So we are going to discuss about these four important articles in prelims exam perspective. Now let us get into the discussion. Shankar IAS Academy is going to conduct All India UPSC mock test for prelims 2025. The mock test will happen on 4th May, 11th May and 18th May. Interested aspirants can use it. Now let us get into the discussion. Now look at this news. Justice B.R. Gavai going to be the next Chief Justice of India. So he is recommended by the present Chief Justice as the second most senior Justice of Supreme Court. So in this context, let us look at the selection process of Chief Justice of India. The Chief Justice of India is usually appointed by President of India under Article 124 of Constitution. The Collegium system in the Supreme Court recommends the person who is to be appointed as a Chief Justice to the President. This Collegium system is created through series of Supreme Court judgments. For example, the second judge's case in 1993 and third judge's case in 1998. These judges' case have created the Collegium system, which is functioning till present, and they are recommending the person to the President of India, and the President of India appoints a Chief Justice. So this Collegium system consists of Chief Justice of India and 4 senior most judges of Supreme Court. So they make the recommendation as to whom to be appointed as the next Chief Justice. The senior most judge is typically appointed as the Chief Justice, and this seniority is based on the time of service he served in the Supreme Court. The government can send the Collegium's recommendation back for once, but it has to be accepted if it is recommended again. So the Chief Justice of India has a term of service up to 65 years. Usually the senior most judge is appointed, and this is recommended by the Collegium system, as I said this earlier. And the qualification for Chief Justice of India are he must have served as a judge of High Court for 5 years, or he must have served as the advocate in High Court for 10 years, or he must be deemed as a distinguished jurist by the President. So ultimately the President appoints a Chief Justice under Article 124. So this is all we have to know about the appointment procedure of Chief Justice of India. Regarding the removal procedure, he can be removed by the resolution of Parliament, which has to be accepted by the special majority of both houses of the Parliament. So with this, let us discuss an MCQ. Who initiates the impeachment process to remove the Chief Justice of India? The correct answer is option C, a member of Parliament. And this initiation procedure has to be supported by the special majority of both houses. And the President then impeaches or removes the Chief Justice of India. Till now, no Chief Justice of India has been removed so far. An additional information here is that the first removal process happened in 2018, but it was not successfully made into a resolution. So with this, let us wind up the discussion. Now look at this article. Viluppuram Forest Division in Tamil Nadu has decided to carry out a population study of grizzled giant squirrel. So in this context, we are going to discuss about the grizzled giant squirrel. This initiative is aimed at supporting the long-standing demand to declare the hills of Viluppuram as a wildlife sanctuary. So this hills in Viluppuram district is known for grizzled giant squirrel, and this squirrel is also threatened by many habitat issues. So in this context, let us discuss about this grizzled giant squirrel. This species is mostly found in the tropical and subtropical forest of South Asia. In India, it can be seen in Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu, mostly in eastern and western Ghats region. It is also found in Sri Lanka, and this squirrel species are most common along the Kaveri river and the forest of the Kaveri river. Even though it is called as grizzled giant squirrel, it is the smallest of the giant squirrel species. So this is an important information about this grizzled giant squirrel. A grizzled giant squirrel sanctuary was created by Tamil Nadu government in 1988 to protect this species, and this species was listed as Scheduled 1 in Wildlife Protection Act of India, and it is also listed as near threatened species in red list of IUCN. So this is all we have to know about this giant squirrel species. Now look at this MCQ. Which of the following states in India is not part of habitat of grizzled giant squirrel? So it is seen in Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala, and in the tropical and subtropical forest of these states. So the correct answer is option D, Uttar Pradesh. With this, let us wind up the discussion. Now look at this news. For the first time since 2020, India and China have resumed talks about restarting this Kailash Mansarovar Yatra. So the talks happened in a special meeting held in Beijing, and both countries are working on resuming this Kailash Yatra. So in this context, let us discuss about this location of Mount Kailash and Lake Mansarovar. So look at this map. This is where the Mount Kailash is present. It is in Tibet, which is controlled by China. The Lake Mansarovar, which is also called as Mapam Yumso, this is called as Mapam Yumso in the local Tibetan language, and this is a freshwater lake located at high altitude in Himalayas. It lies near Mount Kailash in the Tibetan region. So this Mount Kailash and Lake Mansarovar are considered holy and sacred by many religions. Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Tibetan-born religion consider this Mount Kailash as a sacred place. Hindus also believe that this Mount Kailash is a home to Lord Shiva. Ministry of External Affairs of India organizes pilgrimage to the Mount Kailash for Indian citizens every year. But this has been stopped since 2020, and now they are planning to resume this yatra again. So this is why this is seen in the news. So here we are going to look at the map, important places, the passes, mountain ranges, and the rivers that passes through this lake, etc. So this is what we should note through this news. Now look at this map. This is the Trans-Himalayas. It is to the north and the west of Mount Kailash. And this Mount Kailash, the western side is called Trans-Himalayan region, and this range forms a boundary between Tibetan Plateau and the rest of Himalayan ranges. So Trans-Himalayas is found to the north of the Himalayas. And this Mount Kailash is a part of Kailash range. So the range of mountains is also called as Kailash range, and this Mount Kailash is a part of Kailash range. And this Kailash range is in turn a part of Trans-Himalayan system. Now look at the Zaskar range, which is located to the south of Mount Kailash. So this Zaskar range passes through Ladakh region of India, and this range is a part of a larger Himalayan mountain belt. So this Zaskar range is known for the rugged terrain and also an important role in the river system of the region. Next, look at the Garhwal Himalayas. It is in the state of Uttarakhand, and it is associated with the spiritual significance of this region. So Garhwal region of Himalayas has important peaks like Nanda Devi. Now look at this MCQ. Which pass in the western Himalayas connects India with Tibet, and it is located in Himachal Pradesh region? The correct answer is option B, Shipkila Pass. Now look at this article. Recently, two important Indian texts, which is Bhagavad Gita and Natyashastra, have been added to UNESCO's Memory of World Register. So this recognition highlights global importance of India's cultural heritage. This also reflects the need to preserve our timeless work for future generations. So in this context, let us discuss about this Natyashastra and Bhagavad Gita. Natyashastra is an ancient Sanskrit text which is describing about the performing arts. It is traditionally attributed to sage Bharata, and this book have been composed between 500 BC to 500 AD. It contains more than 36,000 verses, and it is a comprehensive guide for various aspects of drama, dance, and music. So this book is basically the foundation of India's classical dances and also forms the basis of India's theatre arts. This book explains about the important 5 concepts or aspects of India's drama. So look at the table on the left side. So this is about the 5 important aspects or concepts which is described in the Natyashastra. One is Natya, which means drama, Abhinaya, which means expression, Rasa means aesthetic experience, Bhava means emotion, and Sangeeta means music. So these are the 5 aspects or concepts which are explained in Natyashastra, and this forms the foundation of India's classical music. This Natyashastra is often called as the fifth Veda because it combines the elements of all four Vedas. Now look at this table here. You can see the four Vedas and their important works. Like Rig Veda is correlated to the words because it has mantras. Samaveda is related to music. Yajurveda related to gestures or actions. Atharva Veda related to emotions. So this Natyashastra book combines the aspects of all these four Vedas, and this is why it is often called as the fifth Veda. Even today, Natyashastra influences India's classical dances, music and theatre traditions. So this is about the Natyashastra. On the other hand, Bhagavad Gita is a sacred scripture which is part of Mahabharata, and this is considered sacred by Hindus. Traditionally, this book is attributed to sage Vyasa, and this is generally considered to be composed between 1st or 2nd century BC. So this Natyashastra and Bhagavad Gita both has been included in UNESCO's World Memory of Register. So what is UNESCO's Memory of World Register? Let us look at it. This program was established in 1992, and the goal was to preserve the valuable documentary heritage across the world. So it was created to protect books, manuscripts and archival records around the world which can be destroyed through conflict, disaster or through time. So this program aims to preserve the important documents and provide universal access to the documents. It also involves in raising public awareness about this cultural heritage or the value of these documents. Now let us discuss an MCQ related to this topic. With reference to UNESCO's Memory of World program, consider the following statements. It was established to safeguard the intangible cultural heritage of humanity. This statement is incorrect because this program was established to safeguard the documentary heritage or archival records of the humanity. So there is a separate program for preserving this intangible cultural heritage. So first statement is incorrect. Now look at the second statement. A maximum of 2 documentary heritage entries from each country can be added to register every year, every 2 years. So this statement is correct. Now India has added Bhagavad Gita and Natyashastra to this register. So this is why we have seen this program in the news. Now look at the third statement. A register includes only written text and excludes audio or video materials. This is incorrect because this register also includes audio or video material. So third statement is incorrect. The program was established in 1992. The statement was correct. So the correct answer is option B, 2 and 4 only, because the first and third statements are incorrect. So with this, let us wind up the discussion. If you like the video, please share it with your friends and don't forget to subscribe to Shankar IAS Academy YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.